Alright, welcome back to the channel. If you're just joining me for the first time, welcome. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the basic field strip of your CMP M1911 or Government Model 1911. You've received it after a bunch of paperwork and waiting around, so let's examine it. First order of business is to press the button on the left side of the frame. This is the magazine release and it will drop the magazine. Next, pull the slide back and make sure it's empty. This is a must if you're a new firearms owner. It seems like common sense for those of us who have been around them for a while, but if I don't do it on camera, I'll get called out for it. My references here are U.S. Army Field Manuals, 23-35 from 1940 and 1960. Also, TM 9-1005-211-12, which is from 1968, and -34, which is from 1964. You should have received one of the 1960s versions with your weapon from the CMP, which includes this procedure. But images are tough to decipher in the Xeroxed images, or maybe you just got it secondhand. Either way, let's go. First, tip the pistol up to view the business end. Under the barrel is a button. This is called the recoil spring plug. Second, turn the fitting around the barrel to the left slightly. This is the barrel bushing. Third, slowly release pressure on the recoil spring until it's out. Pull it out. The Army Field Manuals tell you next to pull the spring out. In the 1940 version, you remove the plug and remove the spring with the slide. If you remove it now, you'll have to twist it for a little bit, just as I did here, just to get it to release. That's the update in the 1964 and 1968 manuals. Mine took a little persuasion, but it did come out. As you release the recoil spring plug, be sure to keep tension on it as it comes out so it doesn't fly out and hit you in the eye or fly away somewhere. Fourth, rotate the barrel bushing until it comes free. Once it's out, you'll know there's a little guide on the side of the bushing that actually holds it in a track inside the slide. Fifth, pull the hammer back. You'll want to draw the slide back until the small rear notch on the side of the slide lines up with this piece, a small lever known as the slide stop. My slide didn't cooperate at first, and I had to move it back and forth a few tries to get it just right. Step 6. Looking at the top of the pistol, press the slide stop from right to left and remove. There should be a little button on the right side that you can physically feel to push from. Step 7. Flip the pistol upside down. Remove the slide by pulling forward with slight pressure. The recoil spring guide is the piece that is sitting on top of the barrel, or on the bottom looking at the gun. Remove it. The last step is to pull the barrel forward through the slide. The barrel link, a small loop attached to the bottom of the barrel which swivels on a pin, needs to be pushed forward before it will come out freely. Your weapon is now field stripped for cleaning and inspection. You can take the grips off if you want, but I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this video. This is the receiver group. Up at the top you have the slide group with the most parts, and of course the magazine. That's your three main groups. To reassemble, just go backwards. Place the barrel inside the slide. Take note that the barrel link is forward. Next, place the recoil spring guide onto the barrel. The concave fixture must be placed towards the rear of the slide, facing the rear of the slide, and facing the bottom of the barrel. Reinstall the slide onto the frame. Take notes of the grooves cut into the slide and the rails on the frame. Line the slide back up as before, taking note of the hole where the slide stop goes. The barrel link on the bottom of the barrel must line up inside with the holes on the frame in order for the slide stop to reinstall properly. I had a little bit of trouble on this part, trying to record, focus on the camera, and keep it in camera shot while I was trying to get the slide stop in there. I had to move the slide back and forth just a little bit, and what I didn't realize was that the barrel link was not lined up with these holes like I had originally advised. Don't worry if it takes you a few tries to get it just right. It's going to take some practice to break this thing down and get proficient with it. If at any point you feel like you've messed up or it's not going the way that it's supposed to, just back up a step and try again. Next, you're going to reinstall your barrel bushing, and just keep in mind that that little guide is on there and it fits inside the frame a certain way, so you have to turn it just a little bit to get it back in there. Next is the recoil spring, and this part differs just a little bit between the manuals. So in the 1940 manual, I would have already put the spring in there when I placed the slide back on the receiver. In the 60s, they said that they want you to put the spring in towards the end like I'm doing here. So that's what I'm demonstrating as the latest doctrine. Next, put your recoil spring plug on the end, snap it back into place, push pressure down onto the spring, and slide the barrel bushing back into place to hold it snugly. Rack it a few times, do a quick functions check, and make sure everything works as it should. Here I'm demonstrating a disconnector test. You lock the slide to the rear, and you pull the trigger as you release the slide stop, and the hammer should not fall. If the hammer does go forward, that means your disconnector needs to be replaced, and that is straight out of the manual. The first few minutes of this video, I wanted to go ahead and knock out the field strip, because if you're searching for a video about how to field strip a 1911, then that's what you want to see. You don't want to sit here and listen to me blab about stuff that has nothing to do with the topic of the video. So here I've got everything laid out, and I'm going to talk about some inspection points after you get it field stripped and apart. Now, this is not going to take the place of the advice of a gunsmith. This is just for your own common sense. If you have any questions or wonders whatsoever, take your firearm to a qualified gunsmith to look it over and see what they think. So, going on, here are the inspection points given out in the TM manual from the 60s. The pistol, generally check the overall condition. Look for nicks, scratches, burrs. Check your safety and disconnector. Make sure your safety engages and doesn't allow the hammer to move. Also, try that disconnector test that I just showed a minute ago. On your slide group, you're going to look for damaged parts. This piece right here is the extractor, and what it actually says to do, it runs through the length of your slide, and also you can see it on the inside here if I can find it. There it is. Just take your index finger and wiggle it just a little bit. If it moves a lot, it's spring loaded, so it's designed to catch the cartridge, but if it wiggles, if you can feel it wiggling like a loose tooth, then you need to have that replaced. Or take it by a gunsmith and let them see it and see what they think. So mine seems to be in pretty good order here. You're going to check for damaged parts. Check your recoil spring, make sure there's no kinks. The coil should not have any flat surfaces on the coil contours. Ends may be flat or rounded slightly. You're going to check that the sights aren't loose on the slide. You're looking for rust, dirt, and any kind of foreign matter. Just take a brush or a toothbrush, something like that. Not one that you brush your teeth with. Just take a brush or something like that and knock the dirt, grime loose on an oily rag to clean it up. On your receiver group, you're going to check for damaged parts. Again, rust, dirt, foreign matter. I'm no expert on a 1911. I'm not a qualified gunsmith, and I can't tell you whether yours is good to go or not. If you have any question about it, you should take it by. The shiny surfaces generally inside mean wear. It doesn't necessarily mean damage. So you can even see from this distance on my barrel, there's quite a bit of wear just from use over the years. So mine, as far as mechanically though, it works great, even with the wear and the use. It is pretty well broken in, but it's a good pistol, and I'm proud to be the next caretaker of this piece of history. So if you have any questions, just drop by your local gunsmith. I'm sure they'd be happy to have a look over and make sure everything's safe and good to go. So thanks for coming by, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.